Okay, so the next story, pathway to cash.
Pathway to cash. Here we go. And by the way, this next story illustrates the elite, the criminal elite running the West is not a partisan issue. It's bipartisan for sure.
I have to tell you, I find this absolutely stupefying that you can have a group of people engaged in multiple wars where there's no pathway to victory that I can find or tell, and they just, as you said, they just have a pathway to cash flow.
Yeah, yeah. Tantrums and cash flow. That's it.
Well, but you can make money by losing.
Yes.
You just start a war, make a mess, lose,
Yeah.
and then do it again and do it again. And you just keep generating massive amounts of positive cash flow.
Yeah. You just gin up a war. As long as it's huge, you can gin up plenty of debt
Right.
and enrich your friends. So what's not to like?
What's not to like is we're destroying the planet. That's what's not to like.
What's not to like is we're destroying the U.S. Destroying the planet. We're
Right.
destroying the planet, starting with the U.S.
With the US. Right.
Yeah.
If we build a stock market model where you can make money from genociding people using taxpayers' money, and this gets back to our theme of pathway to cash flow.
Right.
If you can use taxpayers' money and citizens' money to set something up that's destructive to the economy but generates cash flow for the people doing the genocide, guess what? They have a pathway to cash flow. You have
Right.
given them our retirement savings, and our taxes are giving them a pathway to cash flow. And as long as the rackets can, make money by depopulating funded with our money, they will.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time before that game of Pac-Man reaches your own person in your own
Right.
accounts.
So you've got an industry rolling that destroys the general economy. In other words, it's an extraction model, it's a liquidation model. And so it extracts value, but it doesn't build value. And it's making your economy weaker and weaker. And you had it targeted at companies that serve lower income people. So if you made that weaker, you didn't care. But now
Yeah.
you're basically eating into the muscle of the economy. And the question is what you do, because as long as you have that federal credit subsidizing all these customers and all these businesses, you don't need a productive economy in the short run. You just need a pathway to cash flow. So, pathway to cash flow is
Yeah.
destroying, it's destroying the military operations. It's also destroying the business operations. And if you're running the system, how are you going to protect productivity? I don't know. It's
Uh,
it's back to at the highest level, John, it's the rackets versus the people. So
Yep.
you either got to downsize the rackets or you got to downsize the people. The
Right.
rackets have decided
Something's
they're
got to
going to,
give. Yeah.
some's got to give. Well, it's giving now. I mean, look at Western North Carolina, look at Tennessee, look at,
Right. Right.
look at Lahaina. Something's giving as we speak. What's law when you need to generate more cash flow, John?
It's a nuisance.
Right. So cash flow, printing cash and spending cash is beating the law, you know, at state, at federal, state, local, global level here.
Yeah.
And that's what this comes down to. It's people wanting cash versus the law.
Yes.
And the question is, will anything turn this around where people decide, I'd rather have the law? Because if you look at, for example, a homeowner in Florida who's watching the value of their property going down, that is the value of the law. If there was law, your property wouldn't be sliding like that.
Well, when people rise up and start calling their congressmen and raising hell, Congress responds. We
Right.
saw that. We saw that during the bailouts. The fury of Americans against the bailouts was over 100 to 1. And that put the fear in Congress. That's what you need to do. You need to put the fear in these people.